What's going on, guys? It's PALADIN. Today we are back with a brand new Call of Duty Black Ops 4 video. Today we're going to be taking a look at everything in the game that I got to play. That is pre-alpha, so that's a major point to touch on, and we're going to get to that in a second. But guys, before we get any further into today's video, I want to say thank you if you're watching this video for sticking around on the Carnage channel. I know we haven't been uploading that frequently, and that is a tragedy. Videos are going to be coming back on a daily basis, and we're going to be updating you on everything you need to know as soon as it happens. So look forward to videos, guys. Make sure your sub boxes are on point by checking them every day. Have notifications turned on by going down to the bottom and putting that bell and checking that to have notifications always on. Smash that like button. Let's shoot for, that would be so great. Like, let's start low. Let's like 300-400 likes. That'd be great to see. I know likes haven't been so great recently. And of course, if you are new, hit that subscribe button. Now let's go ahead and jump right into it. Black Ops 4, I got the honor to go out to the community reveal event on the 17th. Thank you to Treyarch and Activision for including me in that. It was a spectacular event. It went very smoothly, and we got to play the game and take a look at how Black Ops 4 is going to play and what it's all about. Now, I unfortunately can't just show you strictly like the menus that I'm going to be looking at. You're watching Black Ops 4 gameplay in the background, which hopefully you do enjoy. So basically, the first thing I want to say is that this is pre-alpha, like I mentioned. It says it up in the top right corner. This isn't even alpha yet, and then obviously when we get to play the beta, that's beta gameplay, and that means, you know, the game's coming along. It's right before launch. So a lot of things in this version are, one, not even close to being finally adjusted, but two, the biggest thing is there's like only probably like a certain percent, a very small percentage of the game we got to actually play, including a lot of features, a lot of guns, a lot of perks, attachments, maps, features that are in the game such as camos, paint shop, all those different things, theater, lots and lots and lots has been left out and they didn't talk about because it is pre-alpha. So please keep that in mind. Even things that are in the game that you might think are annoying or need to be nerf buffed, adjusted, whatever it may be, all of that stuff still has to be catered to, and they are still working on that. So now that that's out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into what you can expect in the game that we got to see. So remember, like I said, you're only seeing a fraction of what's actually going to be there, but I'm going to go through the guns, I'm going to go through the perks, the gear, the attachments, equipment, wild cards, all that kind of stuff, and I'm going to start that all off with saying that Pick 10 has returned if you have not heard already. So let's go ahead and start out with the assault rifles. There was 3 assault rifles that we could choose from, the first being the ICR-7, which is basically the ICR from Black Ops 3. It's very, very good. It was probably the best weapon in the pre-build that we got to play, the pre-alpha game. Then there is the Rampart 17, which honestly isn't too bad. And then finally, the Vapor XKG, and it's pretty solid as well. Now, I believe the Rampart is the one that plays and looks like the SCAR from Black Ops 2, and it kind of even sounds like it a little bit. It's pretty cool. It's pretty good. It's pretty solid. Then the Vapors is pretty good as well. I think I used all 3 of them. ICR is definitely the best out of the 3. Rampart is the highest fire rate, and then the Vapor is also the highest in fire rate. It has a much better fire rate as well. But then moving on to the SMGs, we had the MX9, we had the CORDITE, and then we had the SOG 9mm. Now, the SOG 9mm, I'm gonna start with that one because I personally never got to use it, but it looks exactly like a pistol. It's like almost like a pistol SMG, so it's one of those that really isn't that good. It's almost like the PM9. Remember the PM9 from Modern Warfare 3? It's kind of like that, even though that weapon, by the way, was a beast. That's kind of how this weapon works. It has incredibly high fire rate, as you could probably expect, just like the PM9. And then we had the CORDITE. The CORDITE, guys, I will tell you, is almost identical to the PDW. The way it plays, the way it reloads, and kind of how it even looks. Very, very similar to the PDW, so you could basically say the PDW has returned from Black Ops 2. Then finally, we have the MX9, and the MX9 is the best SMG for me personally. I absolutely loved it. I used it in a lot of the gameplays that I had during the time that I got to play, and honestly, it reminded me a lot of the Vector from Call of Duty Ghosts. Just the iron sights, the way it felt, the way it reloaded. That's kind of the best comparison I could say. Then moving on, we have tactical rifles. Tactical rifles have returned, and we have 2 of them. I'm sure there's gonna be more. Personally, never used them, but I did see T. Martin, I believe, play with the Swordfish, and that's one of them. The first one is the Swordfish, and I believe it's a 3 to 4 round burst. You can actually have an attachment to make it increased in the amount that has its burst. I think it goes to 5. I think that's what I heard. I heard that it's pretty good. It can do one-shots with people that don't have armor on, I believe, so it's a pretty solid weapon at this point. And then we had the Auger, which reminds me kind of the tactical like rifle from Ghost. I can't remember the name of it, but it kind of looks like it. Kind of like just seems like it would play similar to that weapon. But personally, I never did play with either of them. Then we had the light machine guns. Now, we only had one light machine gun to play with, and that is called the Titan. It has a very, very good range, strong damage, decent fire rate, and then not so great accuracy. It's basically like the BRM. It looks exactly like the BRM, at least. Then we had the snipers, and there was two snipers that we had the ability to play with. They both obviously have high damage and range. The first one's the Paladin HB50, and the second one is the Koshka, and I think the one that people were using more of was the Paladin, I believe. I could be wrong on that, but personally didn't really use snipers. But I heard that they have little to no sway, and they're extremely, extremely powerful, and you can get one-shots on people even with armor on. I think more so if you hit them in the upper chest to head, obviously. If you hit them in the lower body, it's going to be obviously 2 shots, but they're pretty good from what I've heard, and it's pretty easy to quick scope as well. So let's go ahead and move on to the perks. I know people are really pumped about the perks. I'm going to say what they are, and then I'm going to say the description. Now, the first perks, we have 4, and we had 4 of each perk, by the way. We had Engineer, we had Flat Jacket, we had Resistance, and Cold-Blooded. I'm not really going to talk about any of those because you guys kind of have an idea what those are. The only thing I will mention is that Flat Jacket does take less damage from enemy explosives, fire, and radiation, so that protects you from fire shotguns, which is also called Dragon's Breath in this game. It's an attachment that's there, and it's not as effective as it is in World War II, but I just wanted to make sure you guys knew that Flat Jacket does protect from that, so very, very useful. Our perk 2s are Scavenger, Dexterity, Gung-Ho, and Lightweight. Dexterity, mantle, climb, slide, and swap weapons faster, increased weapon accuracy when jumping or mantling, so that's something to kind of keep in mind as well. But yeah, those are the 4 for the second slot. And then finally, the most important, with some new perks that probably people don't know about, and I'm taking in mind there's probably a couple more perks going to be added to this list, but the third perks are Reveal, Dead Silence, Team Link, and Ghost. I'm going to be talking about Reveal and Team Link. Reveal basically is an increased fog of war reveal radius for self and teammates. If you guys don't know what fog of war is, that's your new mini-map. The way it works is there's like this little light that is around you on the mini-map, and if an enemy comes within that light that's, you know, very tight around you, they automatically show up regardless if there's a UAV, and Reveal just increases that radius. So it's a pretty effective perk, to be honest. Then Team Link just allows you to see your teammates through walls. I'm not entirely sure what that's for. I honestly don't know. I could be stupid and just be missing the point, but I think it's more of a competitive play thing, but I'm not entirely sure. Then we have our equipment. Now, this is pretty interesting. The first one is Special Issue, and what Special Issue is the unique equipment assigned to each specialist. So if you want to use that, you have to put on Special Issue. Then we have Trophy System, Molotov, which has returned, Frag, Concussion, and the Combat Axe, which is exciting, and a lot of people are excited about that. Then we have wild cards. Obviously, we have Overkill. We have Primary Gunfighter 1, 2, and 3. We have Underkill, which is kind of funny. Then we have Secondary Gunfighter 1, 2, and 3. Then we have Gluttony, perks 1, 2, and 3, which allows you to select, if you have that equipped, you can select all 3 perks from a single perk category. So if you put on perk 3 Gluttony, you can select multiple perks from the perk 3 category. Then we have perk 1 Greed, perk 2 Greed, and perk 3 Greed. Obviously, they have returned. Something to note, there was no grip. There was no grip for SMGs. That was extremely interesting. I don't know what the reason for that is. I don't know if I really think that it's necessary, because if it's just not available for anybody, I guess it's a good thing. But yeah, grip was not available for SMGs. Some of the attachments for SMGs included laser sight, stock, long barrel suppressor, FMJ, high caliber, rapid fire, and advanced mags. FMJ is definitely going to be useful, I think, in this game especially. Then we had the Strife as a pistol, we had the MOG 12 as the shotgun, and then we had a launcher, and then we had, for gear, that's kind of like the new thing, we have, this is like pretty important thing to have on, like, to understand. We have body armor, we have stim shot, we have comm sec device, we have acoustic sensor, and we have equipment charge. Equipment charge is basically C4. Body armor obviously is increased protection from initial bullet damage. Once you get that like taken away, it's almost like a ballistic vest that you start off with right from the start. That's the best way I can describe it, because once it's gone, it is gone. Stim shot is healed instantly and more often while maintaining control of your weapon, so you can still like shoot while you're doing it, and also it's a quicker cooldown time. Like there's no cooldown time compared to regular stim shot. And then finally, guys, we had the kill streaks. The kill streaks, obviously, there was like, well, score streak, I should say. There's not many that were available. There's going to be a lot more in the final game. I can 100% guarantee that, because there's a lot of room on the screen, and there's just so much missing. But what we got to choose from was the UAV, the counter UAV, the Hellstorm, the Sentry Gun, the Attack Chopper, the Mantis, which the Mantis, by the way, is the heavily armored quadruple combat robot that can be remote controlled. So it's pretty effective. Then we have the Strike Team, and we have the Gunship. The Gunship's obviously like really good. But the Strike Strike Team, guys. Strike Team is extremely underrated, I think. They are so hard to kill, and they control an area and just absolutely demolish. I got killed, like the guy that called it in on the enemy team for me, I got killed from it like 3 or 4 times. So he got 3 or 4 kills just off me, and I shot them every single time I got there, and they didn't die. They were really strong. So yeah, that's kind of interesting. The Mantis is 1,000 points. The gunship's 1,500 points. To kind of give you a perspective, I think there's going to be streaks above the gunship. I don't think gunship's going to be the max one. At least I hope not. But it's definitely one of the ones that are up there. I would not be surprised if something was like 18 to 2,000. I also hope to see a hater. That's going to be interesting. I'm pretty sure they're going to add something into it because they always have, and I'm really looking forward to seeing that. But regardless, guys, hopefully you enjoyed today's video. Look forward to another video in your sub box today where we talk about Blackout, the new Battle Royale game mode in Black Ops 4, and we're going to be talking a lot about that. Definitely stop by for that video. Once again, smash that like button, guys. Subscribe to the team channel if you are new, and I will talk to you all later.